What's happening? What's happening? I was a little tardy. Was starting and hitting the broadcast button. My wife and I were watching a show last night, and we were just watching it on my computer when we got in bed. And I was still on Facebook, and I was scrolling through, and she saw my bright green shirt that I wore for the Remodeler show yesterday. And I said, "Oh, you should watch this for a minute." And she gave me some feedback, and I was adjusting some lighting things based on her feedback. So I apologize for being a minute late. It is the Remodeler show. You can always, by the way, go to theremodellersshow.com and you can see archives. Another thing you can do is if you text JOIN to 516-219-9736, you can join my texting group where I send out something that you don't see anywhere else in my content, and it allows us to text back and forth. Tomorrow's show is actually going to kind of feature a bunch of questions that came back to me via text from something I sent out earlier today, or earlier in the week. So text JOIN 516-219-9736. Here's what we've got for today's show. Yesterday afternoon, I think I had a client cancel, need to reschedule a meeting, so I had an open 45 minutes on my docket, and I was sitting there, and I said, I haven't just posted things to Remodelers community other than kind of link into the Remodeler show and this and that. And I got in a little bit of a groove. Paul McManus even said, did Bailey accidentally just post like a month's worth of posts all at once? Because it was kind of fast and furious. I think I did end up with 10 of them. And there's just some things that were coming, I was thinking about, there was coming to my mind, conversations I've had with clients recently that led me to post some things. And I thought for today's show, I was going to go through the 10 things I wrote, expand on it a little bit. Perhaps there's going to be some comments for those of you watching live or even the recording related to some of these. And I thought it would be helpful to kind of dig into them. So number one, you have to say no to some things / projects / people. You can't be all things to all people. Focus. You have to say no to some things / projects / people. You can't be all things to all people. Focus. I think we all, where did this even come from? It was just this reminder that, the more we focus on our ideal client, the more we focus on the types of projects that are most right up your wheelhouse, the easier things get. When we narrow that focus down, it's easier to have a team that excels at it. Your sales process, your marketing can be focused on it. It usually leads to your systems and processes being easier to consistently execute. It leads to a less stressful, more profitable business. So this could be, specifically kind of business strategy. This could also be related to just your life. One of my clients here recently is involved in a lot of things, and he said, something I want you to hold me accountable for and something I want you to follow up with me on in the coming months is, am I saying no to more things, and am I stepping back from some things? I went through this in my life. It's probably been like 6 or 7 years. I was on the board of a organization called Courageous Kids of Michigan. And I remember this being the first thing that I was like, you know what, I got to stop doing some things. How do you stop being on the board of Courageous Kids of Michigan? I helped kind of get it off and rolling with a friend of ours who had the heart to start it. We put on events for kids that were terminally ill, gave them something to look forward to, took them to Pistons games, Tigers games, all this cool things. It's a wonderful organization that's still out there. But I was to the point where with kids' responsibility and church responsibilities and husband and trying to grow a business and all of these other things, that I had to pull back from some of the things that I was doing. So that's a good example of it. Even good things, sometimes we have to step back from. So take that to heart. This could be a business thing. This could be a life thing. You can't be all things to all people. Focus, maybe narrow your niche or niche down. And also maybe there's some things that you need to stop doing. So that's what that's about. And maybe, there's 26 likes and 10 comments on that one. So that was a little bit one of the more popular ones that I posted yesterday, which tells me that some people may need to take that advice. This one, do you realize the skill and talent it takes to be a great remodeler like you are? Don't undervalue yourself. Don't undervalue yourself. Yesterday, where this came from was I was on a call with Rob and Linda, longtime clients of mine, and we were talking about Google reviews, and they have 11 Google reviews. And actually, I'll save that story for one further on. Where this is coming from is this reminder that it takes a lot of skill and talent to pull off a successful remodeling business. If you ever wondered why remodeling is hard and running the business is hard, is because it's stinking hard. You are dealing with getting into people's homes, disrupting their lives. We got marketing, we got sales, we've got rules and regulations and permitting, we've got materials and delays. We're trying to wrangle and keep other projects going at the same time. You're figuring out how to keep your team busy. Sometimes they're too busy, sometimes there's not enough work, and your trade partners and scheduling. It's a hard business. Line up remodeling next to other small businesses, and when you do that, you're going to see that the business that you run, it's a really complex, hard business. And when you're doing it well, when you've put in the blood, sweat, and tears, don't undervalue yourself. Don't undervalue yourself so much. More and more, year after year, I'm more and more convinced that confidence and right and positive thinking is a bigger key to success than I think I've realized in the past, especially that confidence part. Realize it is hard to do what you do, and when you're excelling at it, don't undervalue yourself. Back to number one, saying no is harder than saying yes when we want to help everyone out. I would agree with that. Who said that's Tate, my boy Tate. That is true. Tate, can you go, when you get a chance, to streamyard.com/Facebook? And then if you click allow, I'll see your beautiful face and your name when you comment. That would be awesome if you could do that. Saying no is harder than saying yes. One thing I love about the remodeling industry is it's full of a lot of really good people. That's something that I've just been attracted to. I mean, because you got to be a pretty good person to be a good remodeler, right? You got to be patient. You've got to care about people. And when we care a lot about people, we don't want to disappoint them. We don't want to be the bearer of bad news and say no. But that comes at the expense of something. Oftentimes your stress level, your profitability, the amount of overall work that you have. I've sent the song No More Mr. Nice Guy to a lot of my clients over the years because they need to hear it. Stop being so nice. And this is coming from somebody that I would say, I'm a pretty kind person, but we've got to be careful with what we take on because there's ramifications that occur when we take on too much. But I agree, it is hard. It is hard. Rhonda, thanks for coming back. She missed her show for the last 2 days. Need to catch up. If you go to the remodelershow.com, you'll find it. All right, next one. Number 3, please go into your late August calendar and mark off a half day and title it Me Time and do something fun that afternoon. I don't know about you, but when I started my business, I did not start it so that I could work a crazy amount of hours and be crazy stressed. Yet, running a business sometimes like that, right? One thing we know is that if we don't schedule time off, if we don't schedule me time, like I said there, it's not going to happen. It still might not happen, but there's about a 75% greater chance that it will happen if you actually put it on your calendar and schedule it. Maybe even tell some people in your business, I am taking the afternoon on Friday, the 21st off. I'm going fishing. I'm going to play 18 holes of golf by myself or with a friend. I am going to go date my husband that afternoon. Whatever the case is, we need to carve that out. So when I wrote that, it was August 4th. Go out there 3-4 weeks and just put it on the calendar and protect that time. That's all I got to say about that. All right. Here's somebody else's comment. Here's another, yeah, it states, remodeling is much more complicated than new home construction, but in many ways more satisfying. That is true. That is true on both accounts. In new home, I think Brian Kaplan said this yesterday. He's like, new home construction, if you make a mistake, like it's going to get traced back to you that you were pretty much the culprit. In remodeling, sometimes there's issues that are happening on your job site that is totally outside of your control. Unforeseens, things that come up. It's hard. What you guys do is hard. Don't undervalue yourselves. Okay. I would love it. I would absolutely love it if somebody went into their late August calendar and actually did this. There were 16 people that liked this, one person that commented. I wonder how many of those 16 people that liked it actually did it. That was a long pause. Pausing for dramatic effect. Did you know, as a salesperson, as a communicator, as a manager of people, a pause is a gift to the person you're talking to? Pause. When you deliver a pause well after a statement, you'll see the other person go like this and nod their head because they've actually heard it and you've actually allowed them to understand it, and you're remembered more when you do that. Practice that. Number 4, I know it doesn't always feel like it, but you are doing great. You're serving your clients, team well. Keep pushing forward. Yeah, but Kyle, you don't know what's going on in my business. How can you say that? Here's what I know is that most everybody I work with and I talk to, they're trying their hardest. They're working hard. Some days are better than others. And we need to hear, you are doing great. You are doing the best you can with the hand you're dealt. You are doing everything you can to keep all the balls in the air, and some of them are going to fall. Keep pushing forward. Don't beat ourselves up so stinking much. Where I was going earlier with Rob and Linda conversation yesterday, I've been trying to do this more and more in my coaching. We pulled up Google reviews, and they have 11 of them. And they've worked hard to go from like 1 to 11 over the last many months. And I said, Rob and Linda, do you guys realize that you have more reviews than 90% of all of the remodelers I've ever worked with? And that's a lot of them. And Rob goes, really? Really? Right? And he sat there and thought that everybody else must have 40 or 50 or 60. But instantly he's like, whoa, we're doing a little better than I thought we were. And it's important to remember that. Don't look for this glass half empty. Don't look for the things you're not getting done. Make sure, I know it's just positive talk that's not grounded maybe in your specific situation, but it's important to hear that. So just a little encouragement there. Oh, we got some. Bailey did it. Bailey, did you take off a half day of Remodel Your Marketing time? Either way, I like it. But if it was Remodel Your Marketing time, what do you talk about? I just completed that before your call. Bam! Nice. Before going online. I think you're doing great too. Thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right, so that was number 4. Number 4, that one got like 7 likes. That one didn't get shown very much. This one, your family / loved ones are greater than your business. Your family / loved ones is greater than, more important than your business. Don't get that switched around. I don't know if I need to add much more to that. Perspective, having priorities right. Sometimes it's hard to, with the pressures of business and everything you need to get done, to remember that that family or those loved ones are more important than your business. But it's true. That's right thinking. Okay. And Bailey said, no, I didn't take it out of Remodel Your Marketing time. I took it out of cleaning the house time. Absolutely. Excellent. So I'm not going to add much more to that. Your family / loved ones are more important than your business. I think it stands on its own. That one only got 6 likes. But Facebook's algorithm is wacky, right? If some of these got some quick likes, this is the way it kind of works. If they get some quick likes and it's like, wow, 10 people looked at this and 3 people have liked it, Facebook's like, ooh, this must be good and let's show it to more people. If something gets showed like 10 times and it just happens to have no likes, well, it's going to start showing up later. And when I post 10 of them in a row, the algorithm kind of took over, I think, a little bit. But this one's an important one. All right, next one. If you have any questions or comments, keep tossing them in. Number 6, your clients need to hear from you. Easy and effective option, remodelersautopilot.com. So I posted 10 of these. Gary Vee wrote a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook, which means you give, you educate, you teach, you help, and then occasionally hit them with the right hook. Make an offer. Now, if they don't take you up on the offer, don't feel bad about it. Don't feel mad at them for it. But it's okay on occasion to throw a right hook out there. You guys, if you create content and you're putting out educational content, occasionally just go for it. Are you looking to remodel your home? Are you looking to remodel your kitchen? We can help. Call us. It's a little bit of a right hook, right? So this is I snuck this one into the jab, nine jabs, and then one little right hook. This one got 3 likes. Happened to be from 3 Remodelers Autopilot clients. But I'll do this little plug. If you're not staying in touch with your previous clients, I don't care if you're busy now, if you're slow now especially, but even if you're busy right now, it is foolish to not be staying in touch with our previous clients. We want to stay top of mind with them. Hitting a little bit of a momentum with this. Several people who have reached out here in the last week who have signed up for Remodelers Autopilot, and there's a lot of you who need this simple, effective, affordable program that we offer. So if you go to remodelersautopilot.com, you can hear all about it. Or just put in the comments, Kyle, sign me up, reach out to me. That's fun. Do that, and we can take care of it. All right. Number 7, stop comparing yourself to others. Moment of transparency. Why did this come to my mind yesterday? Because I had Brian, wonderful Kaplan, on yesterday's show. Bailey, I think, texted right afterwards and said, that was a great show. I had 2 or 3 other people say, ooh, that was really good. And I thought to myself, in my inferior, ego-driven, prideful nature sometimes, well, it's because Brian's so much smarter than me, and he's so much sharper than me. And what am I doing wrong that he's so much? People will probably just want to work with him and not with me. It's very easy to, when you start comparing yourself to others, to go the route of woe is me and to beat ourselves up and to think, well, I could be doing so much better. That's rarely helpful. Mostly stupid idea to talk like that, to think like that. Not helpful. I have seen the majority of my clients, when they start to look at their competitors, they look at their competitors' websites, or they hear a quick story about how, man, I've seen their trucks everywhere. When we start to compare ourselves, so often, in my experience and watching clients, it leads us down a road of bleh, of feeling kind of down in the dumps, of just bringing us down. So be careful when you start comparing yourself to others. A lot of times, it's a little bit of just negative. Sometimes I fall into, especially early in my business. But when I start to right my mind, I'm like, you know what, Brian's awesome. And I love the guy, and he's smart. And yes, he is smarter than me. And he's sharp. And you know what? There's going to be people that work with him. There's enough people out there. We're both going to be fine. That's right thinking. I had some other comments that came through on this post and also through my private message box of talking about how some people find comparing to be a healthy thing. They actually keep above the negativity and actually look at it as in, you know what, to see somebody that's succeeding and that's maybe a couple steps ahead of me or that's got some things figured out, it actually motivates me. It actually gives me clarity of how to get from where I am to where I'm going. So, that actually, some of that interaction I had after I posted this one has helped me kind of realize, you know what, yes, comparing is a slippery slope for a lot of folks, and I've seen that. It can also be a very helpful thing to help motivate and encourage. So, that's my number 7. Stop comparing yourself to others, unless it helps you. I'll add that to it. All right, so number 8. I wrote job number 1, take care of your team. Job number 1A, give your clients a wonderful remodeling experience. I think if I were to line up 50 of you, let's round numbers. If I were, that is a round number, but a bigger number. If I were to line up 100 of you and say, okay, I want you to quickly answer this question. What's more important, keeping your team happy or keeping your client happy? I bet you the majority would, on first thought, go, keep my clients happy. That's who is paying us. They are paying us for a service. Like, that's where our revenue comes from, et cetera, et cetera. When you start to think about it, though, if you put job number 1 to take great care of your team, to have them tooled up properly, to train them well, to make it an enjoyable place to work, to communicate well with them, that work hard to have systems and processes in that serves them well and helps them do their job better. If they are happy and satisfied and encouraged and motivated in their job, the second part of taking care of the client takes care of itself. So I just wanted to emphasize that, to just put a little bit of push on, taking great care of your team is more important than your clients. Sounds weird even coming out, and I think we could argue about that a little bit, maybe some shock jock on the Remodeler show, but there's a lot of truth and experience behind what I just said there. So let's make sure, a takeaway there or thing to think about, how can I continue to take great care of my team? We had a thumbs up. We had a thumbs up flowing through from Joanne. Thank you, Joanne. Cool. So if you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, Joanne and Tate, and I think there's somebody else, you can just allow StreamYard to show your face and your name, which would be cool. All right, we're cruising along. It's 22 after. a little different approach to the Remodeler show. Friday, by the way, we are doing a call-in show. I had somebody that raised their hand and said, "Hey, I'll join you, Kyle." And he's going to be, his name's Bram, B-R-A-M. He's going to be joining on Friday. He threw a couple questions at me. And what that's going to look like is we're going to send Bram a link, and I'm going to be able to click it, and boom, he's going to show up right next to me. We're going to spend 5-10 minutes talking to him. And I'm hoping to also have maybe 1 or 2 other people who would love to come on the show live, ask a few questions, have some interaction, and we'll have some fun with it. So if you're interested in that, just comment or shoot me an email, shoot Bailey an email. It's Kyle@remodelyourmarketing.com or Bailey@remodelyourmarketing.com. Let me hit these last 2. Number 9, I'm so proud/happy of this Remodelers community. Thank you for making it a legit community where people truly help each other. Are you involved in other Facebook groups that are kind of self-serving, or it seems like somebody posts something and turns into this rant hour and people aren't really there to like help? I would say this group, I would say Rob Bauer's group, is one that has a similar vein of just, we're here to help and encourage. And I'm just so happy about it. I would say it's, when I look back at my 12 years in business, it is something that I would point to and say, that is something that I'm really proud of that has been built. And it's being built, like most things, not by one person, but by a community of people. So thank you for that. That one got 42 likes, because I think what that's telling me is that you guys appreciate it. You guys like it. It gets, maybe I spark some things when I blitz 10 topics and hopefully set a tone for how we want this community to feel. But it's you guys that are sharing templates and tools and ideas and feedback. I just am so grateful for that. So thank you, and thank you. Number 10, you can't get everything done. Just focus on one thing at a time. Make progress this afternoon and enjoy the work in front of you. No sense in getting overwhelmed. It's not going to help the cause. Yes, we have to be realistic about our workload. Maybe there's some delegation, but so often, just focus on one thing at a time. Good, solid reminder for us all. Make progress on what's in front of you. Enjoy the work in front of you. Sometimes just a little tweak to our attitude. Sometimes just like, okay, I'm serving them. You know what? I'm going to tackle this. You know what? I checked it off. There's different. It's just such a subtle shift to go from enjoying your work to just being kind of annoyed with your work. Sometimes that's just a little mental shift, a little shift of the hat, if you will. So make progress on that this afternoon and enjoy the work in front of you. Just a good reminder for you. All right, so that is most of today's show. In the last 5 minutes, I wanted to tell you about something I have coming up. Oh boy, without the in-person events in our industry in the fall, there's a lot of courses out there. You can type in the comments. Have you seen a lot of courses come through? There's a lot of courses. There's a lot of offerings. There's a lot of training. There's a lot of things. And I'm about to add to that. I apologize. I'm about to add to that. I've done a lot of courses over time, but 2 of my main ones are Remodel Your Marketing Plan and Remodel Your Sales Process. They're big. As my Jewish client says, those are some big matzo balls. They are full, kind of looking the full creation of the marketing plan, looking at the full start to finish of the sales process. And they're great, and they're available, and they're all recorded, and they're really helpful. And as I was thinking about what I wanted to do in the fall, I was going to do an in-person event in September, and we just decided to table that, #COVID. And as I thought through, okay, what do we want to do, and Bailey and I were strategizing it, the thing that came to my mind that I just got really excited about is we're going to do four classes. 1 in September, 1 in October, 1 in November, 1 in December. They're going to be hyper-focused on one specific part of the business. So the September one is specifically about what I would arguably say is the most important part of your overall marketing plan. This one piece of your marketing plan of how you stay in touch with your previous clients. Very specific deliverables related to what do we do in the 24 months after we complete the project. That one-to-one communication, how do we do that exceptionally well? And then also the overall one-to-many approach. Yes, email, consistently. Yes, social media posts. But what about a phone call occasionally? How do we use text to stay in touch with our previous clients? What about an event once we're able to do that? What could we invite people to? How do we effectively stay in touch with our most valuable marketing asset? At the end of the 4 classes, you're actually going to have a very clear plan with specifics already figured out. The templates are already going to be customized and done. All of these classes, what I'm most excited about is we're not adding more and more and more information. We are hitting a specific topic, and we're going to, at the end of it, you're going to have actual result deliverable in place. So that's the September one. The October one, this is an important one. We're just going to focus in, it's 5 90-minute sessions in October on charging for design and project development. Whether you're doing it already, whether you need to be pushing more towards it, it is a topic that you hear a lot from me on, you hear a lot from a lot of other coaches, consultants, and we're going to focus in specifically on that. If you're already doing this, you're going to make some tweaks to how you do it. You're going to look at your project development agreement, your design retainer. You're going to practice how we're presenting it. If you're not doing it, you're going to develop the tools and the pieces and the confidence and the wording in order to do it well. So I'm excited about that one, and that one's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be a very, very valuable piece. In November, 5 powerful words when talking with a remodeling prospect. This is how we work. Every time I present this concept, it makes total sense to everybody. When you have a very clear thing that you can hand to a prospective client and say step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and it's presented well and it's very clear, it takes away a lot of the confusion of what the remodeling process is like. It helps them buy. It helps them feel confident. It helps you in your sales process. It helps you in your marketing. But to actually get the document customized and created and in place and as a page on your website, there's some work involved in doing that. So the November class is going to be specifically on that. And there is not going to be a single person that takes that class that doesn't have that done at the end of those 4 sessions. Guaranteed. Because all of my coaching is going to be focused on getting the result. And then December, we're going to create your 2021 business budget. So September is a little bit marketing focus. October, November, a little bit more related to sales process and in both of those cases. And then December, we're going to talk about your 2021 business budget. I'm going to show you how to review your 2020 budget. I'm going to show you how to wrestle with that, how to evaluate that. And by the end of those 5 sessions, which we're finishing the week before Christmas, you're going to actually have your 2021 business budget well thought out, organized in QuickBooks, and ready to rock, which is going to give you clarity, just a clear plan for the year. So I'm very excited about that. So each of these courses you can buy like just one of them. You can do all 4 of them. What are we calling that? Spend the fall with Kyle. Do all 4 of them. We're working on that, but I'll have a landing page for all these coming up. But I just wanted to kind of announce that, let you guys know that's coming up, and I'm fired up for it. This is not to add more and more and more to your plate. It's to get some really important pieces done and completed, and we're gonna have fun along the way. Somebody that was watching through the replay of Remodel Your Sales Process, Lisa with Dotson Builder, she wrote this. She said, Kyle, you're like a flippin' real life cartoon character, and I love it. I just watched session 2, and so far I'm giving you a 10. Good stuff, meaty and full of flavor. If you guys think I'm feisty on the Remodeler show, when you're paying me to be part of my course, I'm going to push you, and we're going to get results, and it's going to be fun. So keep an eye out for that. Or even in the comments, if you're like, oh, Kyle, I'm kind of excited about that. Tell me more about it. I'd love to just get encouraged by that. So you'll hear more about that soon. Rhonda says, sounds exciting. Excellent. All right, that was the Remodeler show for today. A little announcement of what's coming up class-wise and also just going through those 10 things. I hope there was something in those 10 things that struck you. I love that some of you have already kind of taken some action on it. And I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of